Ready? All right. I'm going to call this meeting to order. We're going to start by saluting the nation's flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America,
the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Roll call. Supervisors Fisher, Aguizio, and Fleer are in attendance. Supervisors Cassiola and Savavic are in attendance via telephone. In addition, Township Manager Don Januso and Jack King, Director of Planning and Assistant Township Manager. Also, Joe Seitz from Gateway Engineers. Cecil Township Board of Supervisors, June 1st, 2020. Well, I don't need to read that. Will be live streamed at 7 p.m. through the Township website and Facebook due to COVID-19. Announcements, the 2020 census. Thank you for completing your 2020 census. If you haven't had a chance yet, there's still time. We are approaching the 2010 response rate of 69.7%, so let's keep this momentum going. Your response impacts school lunches, plans for highways, supports for firefighters, and families in need. Cecil Township's response rate is 8.6%, ahead of the national rate and 5.6% ahead of Pennsylvania's response rate to date. Have any questions? More information is available on our website. On to resolutions. 102-2020. Consider application 2020 0001 for the Cheka Acres Subdivision Plan, location 3988 Millers Run Road, R2 Medium Density Residential Zoning District, applicant Timothy Cheka. The plan received Planning Commission approval on February 20th, 2020, contingent upon addressing comments from the Township Engineer.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
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 Passes 5-0. 103-2020.
Please speak into the microphone.
I am speaking into the microphone.
What do you say?
You can't hear it?
It's sounding very muffled.
I'll crank you up as high as it'll go. All right, it's as high as it'll go.
103-2020, consider the second release of financial security posted for the installation of public improvements for Traditions of America Phase 1 from $3,123,279.76 to $2,888,056.06, a total reduction of $235,223.70 as recommended by the Township Engineer.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Passes 5-0. 104-2020, consider ratifying the Township Manager's approval of application for payment number 3 in the amount of $157,350.16 to Traffic Control and Engineering Company for work on the South Point Boulevard signal upgrades contract between 5/4/20 and 5/8/20 as recommended by the Township Engineer.
Aye. Aye.
A request for reimbursement of this payment will be made through PennDOT from the Green Light Go project.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Passes 5-0. 105-2020. Consider application for payment number 1 for contract E of the 2020 road resurfacing program to Parking Lot Painting Company in the amount of $55,584.42 as recommended by the Township Engineer. Do I
I'll
have a
make a motion.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Passes 5-0. 106-2020, consider authorizing the Township Engineer to advertise and prepare specifications for bids for the installation of alternate repair methods to address a slope failure along Angara Road.
I have a question. Joe, did they get any prices on this?
We haven't got any prices yet on it, Ron.
We haven't.
I mean, we're just asking for authorization. The estimated cost is about $250,000. Dan and I talked about it today. Based on what's there, We'd take out a base bid for a soil nail repair and then an alternate for a soldier beam and lagging wall to be installed. I mean, I think Public Works has exhausted all their resources to do temporary Band-Aids on it, so we need to move forward, getting a permanent fix in place.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. 107-2020, consider authorizing the township manager or secretary to sign on behalf of the township as guarantor for financing of the new engine for the Cecil Township Volunteer Fire Company Number 1 with Brentwood Bank for a loan amount of up to $470,000. The board previously approved a sign as guarantor by Resolution 154-2019 on September 3rd, 2019. This just gives Dawn the ability to be the one that signs it.
I'll make a motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Passes 5-0. 108-2020, consider minutes from the Monday, May 4th, 2020 Cecil Township Board of Supervisors regular monthly meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Passes 5-0. 109-2020, consider the general fund invoices from May 1st through May 31st, 2020. I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Passes, or opposed? It passed 5-0, right? Okay. That ends resolutions. Now we're going to move on to Board of Supervisors discussion of new business. Discuss scheduling of conditional use meetings as to where and when to hold them. So we have, what, 3 that we need to do?
Yes, 3.
Yeah, so we have 2 range and,
And one, I think, is for CAPS development.
go ahead, you want me to talk about it? Or?
No, go ahead.
So now that we're heading into the green phase, as of June 5th, there's a 250-person limit. But there's still social distancing requirements. So obviously this room can't handle 250 people with everybody standing 6 feet apart. So we have a couple of options. We can, Gretchen said that it would be legal to do it kind of like we're doing it now, but allow questions in advance. I have concerns about that because I have concerns that we would have to allow some people to come in to present the applications, and then how do you say, like, yes, you can come in, or no, you can't? So then the question is, do we look for an alternate site, i.e. the fire departments or the Hilton Garden Inn to rent facilities to hold these conditional use hearings? Because if we don't do anything with them, there'll become a point where they're deemed approved whether or not we held the conditional use hearing or not.
Could we ask the people that are going to attend to pre-register?
I don't know that we could we? The problem really is not that people would pre-register, it's how do we determine, so like we'll say range, for example. So that tends to draw a larger number of people. There would be a point, how many people do you think we could get in here socially distant?
Well, you're only allowed 228.
Well, but they have to be 6 feet
Right,
apart.
that's what I'm saying.
But like, even if it's, I don't even think we could get 30 people in here all 6 feet apart.
No,
6 feet, like, each direction from each other? There's no way. And then, go ahead, do you have something?
I was just gonna say 50%,
Yeah, and it's 50% of occupancy, so you're talking 114.
that's tight.
But that's not 6 feet apart.
No, remember what happened with the Easter egg hunt?
Right.
All those kids in here.
Right.
That wasn't,
So my suggestion is that we come up with a couple of dates that we want to hold these meetings that everybody can attend, and we allow Dawn and Jack to look for alternate locations, either Cecil Fire Hall, Hilton Garden Inn, or if you can come up with something else, Bella Sarah maybe, I don't know, where we can meet social distancing guidelines, but also not infringe upon somebody's right to be there. I mean, we can still offer up advanced comment and question acceptance. But if somebody wants to
I think the fire
be,
hall would be My first choice.
Mine too. Yeah, mine too.
Frank.
Depends on how many people, you're gonna have, what kind of turnout.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, you're going to have 3 hearings at one night?
No. I would want to do the 2 range hearings in one night, just so that we don't have to come back. And then the caps one on another night. So if we could,
Ranges are for what, a well pad?
somebody just messaged me that the live feed is not working, sorry. Sorry, I picked up my
Dawn.
phone, to look at my
Yes,
calendar.
There's one for a well pad?
both are for well pad locations.
Yeah.
Two different well pad
Range told
locations.
me that the one on Klinger Road wasn't for a well, it was just a pad that they were going to use for equipment and stuff.
Klinger? I don't think there's an application for
The
Klinger.
2 locations that we were given, one is on Grange Road and the other is on
Pilati.
Galati Road.
Oh, I never heard nothing about that. They was telling me about a pad they was going to make up on Klinger Road.
I haven't seen any, we have seen no application for anything
Yeah.
that describes Klinger Road or
What
uses
would be the rental fee like?
I don't know. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's why I wanted to talk to you guys about it and say, give me some dates that they have the potential, and then let Dawn and Jack reach out and come up with the best location. Although the sooner that we can do it, if we're changing the location, the better off we'll be.
Right, we'll make sure to advance, well in advance advertise and make sure that everyone
Is aware.
is aware, correct.
Yeah, so could we potentially do a meeting?
What about the junior high auditorium?
Yeah, Canamac, that's a good one too. Could you look
Sure,
into the
I'll look into that.
auditorium?
Up
Sure.
here, I mean.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, at the intermediate school, yeah. Muse has a huge gym too, if we could do it in,
They probably don't want chairs on it, do they?
they do chairs for,
do?
for assemblies and stuff. So what if we, Eric and Tom, are you okay with looking at potentially either Thursday, June 18th, Monday, June 22nd, or Thursday, June 25th? Those are just days I called out.
Either one.
Yes.
What'd they say? I'm sorry, Tom, what'd you say? Tom, what'd you say?
I said either day, either day,
Okay.
any day.
So did you see that?
yeah, you said the 18th or the 25th?
18th, 22nd, or 24th?
Okay.
Or
18th,
25th, yeah.
22nd or 25th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And of course,
I'm good. I said I'm good with any day.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will move forward and then we'll follow up when that is scheduled. Second thing is discuss opening of the township parks. I have been asked, as well, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been asked about when we're gonna open them. The township manager, John Jiune, asked me the other day, what we wanted to do, and I said, let's talk to the board, so that's why it's an agenda item tonight. I have reached out multiple times to State Rep Jason Ortite, and there is no specific guidance at this point as far as playground equipment. But when you look at, and Dawn, if you want to say, nobody in the area.
No, and it's been a little bit all over the place. I had the opportunity to meet with 15 to 18 of local township managers. We participated in a Zoom conference, and we discussed these items specifically. And a lot of us agreed that even as managers for these communities, we're not given a lot of direction as to where do we go with playgrounds, basketball courts. Some municipalities are starting to slowly introduce this as we move to the green phase, but they're all acting cautiously. I think the ultimate decision is up to the board. One thing that seemed to be apparently clear, at least in the 18 communities that I spoke with, were that they were still going to wait on holding their keeping their playgrounds closed at least through the month of June, but that the other amenities in the parks would, tennis courts, for example, if there were any other types of courts, let's say, even basketball, because you could have, one-on-one or father-son game or something to that effect. I think people still would have to practice the social distancing, which are the only guidelines that we're pointed to. Right now, is just follow what the CDC and the PA Department of Health says. Now, the state parks are supposed to open this week, and there will be limited swimming at their beaches. However, their pools will be closed. So in their announcement, they also said that at the state parks, their playgrounds would remain closed indefinitely.
So could we open up like tennis, hockey, and basketball and put signs that say social distancing should still be practiced, play at your own risk?
I spoke with Bill today, and Bill said that they have no problems sanitizing bathrooms every morning. They'll do it once in the morning. And he felt that the sun on all them playground things should kill the virus anyhow, but he would sanitize that. And he was going to get signs made up that you're still responsible for keeping a distance and washing your hands and everything.
My personal preference.
Cindy, the thing is, if you come by here on Sundays, it's like the park's open. And there's
I'm
people
okay with
everywhere.
people being in the park. I'm okay with basketball, tennis, and hockey. It's not, I have young kids. It's not that I don't want to see kids utilizing the facilities. It's that we can only rely on the guidance that we've been given from the state and from the CDC. And how do you socially distance, or how would we sanitize the playground equipment in a way that it would need to be done?
Speak up.
Well,
Could you say that statement again? You don't want, like what?
I can't understand what you're saying. Can you, Joe?
Cindy, could you speak up? Was unable to understand what it is that you don't like.
What?
What is it that, from what I
Well,
gather, what
to-
is it that you don't like about opening the park or the?
It's not that I don't like anything, it's that we don't have access to the same information that the CDC and the state does. So my concern is, and maybe this is a question for Gretchen, is if we are not able to meet those standards set by the state and by the CDC, is there liability for the township if we open them up and let people play, knowing that we can't sanitize them between each use, which is what's being said, or knowing that we can't require people, or we can't enforce social distancing? I mean, I appreciate what Bill is saying, but he's,
Well, Dawn, what you tell me that, is
Yeah,
this
I mean, Jack-
shebang on their pavilions?
Bill, and I have, we've researched how often do you want to sanitize? And that's just it, just as if Cindy said, there are no guidelines for how many times you have to sanitize. I think we just need to use the practices that, of course, the CDC tells us. And then the rest is up to those that use the park to practice, of course, those safe practices. You have, of course, the pavilion rentals coming up too, and a lot of people,
to me, that's a different issue. I'm okay with pavilion rentals coming back up, but we need to make a choice, like, if we're gonna open the park, what are we opening? Are we opening everything? Are we opening playground, tennis, hockey, basketball, everything? Or are we opening certain things and not other things?
I
My
myself,
opinion is open everything.
that was mine too, actually.
I understand from today's conversation with Commissioner Nick Sherman that Washington County had everything opened. They had the restrooms shut down for a little while, but they have been reopened. So all of their parks, and I believe Mingo Creek never did shut down.
do you understand?
I couldn't really.
Yeah, what Eric just said was he spoke with Nick Sherman today, and that it was his understanding that the bathrooms at some of their facilities were shut down for some time. However, now everything is open, and Eric said also that Mingo Creek
But
was
that's
never shut
different.
down.
That's different. I'm okay with people walking in the park, using trails, all that stuff. My question is specific to playground equipment. Are we opening something that we know is high touch to everyone? That's my concern. When you're coming to play basketball, you're using your own ball. You're not touching a bunch of stuff. When you're coming to play hockey, you're using your own stick, you're using your own puck, you're using your own equipment. Same with tennis. My concern is, if we open the playground equipment, are we willing to take on that liability? Knowing that we are not following the guidance that's been put forward.
Well, as Bill said today, he can sanitize a bathroom.
I'm not talking about bathroom, I'm
But
talking
wait,
about the
let me
playground.
finish. He could sanitize that bathroom, and somebody could walk in right after him.
You're correct. Yes,
That's the thing.
right. You're correct.
Right.
I mean, I feel confident the amount of cases in Washington County, how low it is and everything. And as Bill said, the sun ultraviolet kills the virus.
We don't know that. I mean, I've heard that too, but like, I don't know. I'm not confident enough to say that with, can we, before we open the playground equipment, can we reach out to Gretchen first? And reach out to State Rep Jason Ortite first? I just don't, like, I don't want anybody to get sick and have something terrible happen.
It's the same thing, Cindy, though. They might play there today and go somewhere to eat in the afternoon, and if they did get it, where'd they get it? How do you know where they got it?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know how they figure that
I
out.
mean, I understand your concern, your children and everything. I understand, I got grandchildren. But I just think between the sun and the rain, and it's all exposed to the weather, that they don't even be there.
I think you give the public that choice. If they still have fear, they stay away. I mean, open everything up, and if you don't like it, don't go there. And that's my opinion.
Tom, what's your thoughts?
Tommy,
Yeah, I'm listening first.
What's your thought on opening the playground?
I think we should, but I think our staff once in a while should go in there and just wipe things down just during the course of his day.
well, that's what Bill was planning on.
Wiping it
Maybe
down.
once, like halfway through the day or something like that, but I'm not against the park
Wiping
opening.
it down.
I can't hear it.
He said that as long as our staff is wiping it down throughout the course of the day, which is fine. No, it's fine. It's just hard to hear because the echo, yeah.
Well, do they happen to have, or do we have, like, you see they spray that mist on everything? Do we have, or can we get that?
We've talked about that.
That
We
was
do
my
have
next question, Ron.
What's that?
I said that was my next question. Can we get some of that disinfectant spray?
We do. We have access to that, although it is rather expensive. It's a proprietary product called Bactronics, and it's actually a spray that you place on surfaces, and it prevents the disease from adhering to the hard surfaces. We could do that in addition to the disinfecting portion, which would use commercially grade like Clorox, for lack of a better term, like Clorox.
Right. Okay, that's fine. If we can get that, I'd be okay with it.
Wouldn't that also come down to the parents who are like supervisor? Wouldn't they take some ownership of
Well, I think one thing, back up a little bit if we can, we're going to have to place hand sanitizers in a park somewhere.
That's probably a good recommendation as well. Placing hand sanitizers at each bathroom station, maybe one near the playground.
Yeah, they can mount it on a 4x4 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent, yes, but I can tell you that like a lot of parents are relying on, if we're opening, then we feel safe. So then they are in turn saying, well, if they're open, then they must be doing everything that they can, which I'm sure we are. I'm not saying that. It's just, I do have hesitations about opening the playground. Just knowing that like you could have 50 kids down a slide in 30 minutes. And so, it doesn't seem like it's affecting children, not in the same way, but I do have kids. And so, I do have a little bit of reservation about it. Now, if there's, if we can disinfect it more than once a day and we're not just relying on the sun and the rain, I'm okay with that.
If we would get that stuff Dawn just talked about, I think we'd have no problem. Dawn, how hard is that to get?
I mean, believe it or not, we were able to get
Ron, I didn't hear it. Could we get that spray?
we were able to get it at Sarasnik's Hardware, believe it or not. It is manufactured locally. I
Did you hear
believe in
that,
Houston.
Tom?
No.
Donnie said he can get it at Sarasnik's Hardware.
All right, we got to try that. I think at least once a day or something like that with that spray. I think we should open it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been using it for weeks for now on police vehicles and for the public works vehicles. So we have, and it's hard to imagine, I know, but it is a locally manufactured product. They've been manufacturing for years. Not just as a result of the pandemic, but so it's a well-known product, has a good reputation. It's just a little pricey, but
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's
As far as, now moving on, as far as pavilion rentals, I said to Dawn, I'm like, we should open pavilion rentals, at least this is my opinion. We should open pavilion rentals. And for those people who had their pavilion rental canceled, they should get first dibs on like what's open before we open it up for additional rentals. So like there were people that had rentals when in March and May, April and May. April and May, who had theirs canceled.
I agree with that.
They should get first dibs on what's open in June, July, and August before we open it up for everybody else. Do you agree with that,
I agree with that.
Frank?
Yeah.
Just to be fair. You don't have to.
They probably might have canceled a lot of people that might have had rentals are probably going to cancel. I mean,
Well, I think a lot of them was probably
birthdays.
graduation
Yeah,
parties.
birthdays, graduation.
But I have had, yeah. But you never know. Like you
I
may
think it's a
want
good
to
thing.
reschedule.
If they came in and, they put their money down and everything.
Yeah, we
should
refunded
get
it, but
first
they
shot.
should get first dibs.
Right, we've refunded everybody up to a point.
Right.
And what Teresa is doing is she's calling them in sections. So as it pushed out, she called the next 2 weeks or so.
Right.
And I had a call today from somebody for August 1st, and I said, I can't tell you right now.
Yeah. So I would say give the township a week to reach out to the people who had their reservation canceled. If you either don't get a hold of them or they say no, then we can open it up for anybody else who wants a new rental. You okay with that? Just as a show of like,
No,
look,
are
we're
we-
sorry for what
Do
happened.
you think we should do a one-time, that spray stuff on all the tables in every pavilion?
Can you spray it on wood? I don't think you can spray it on wood.
You can, yes. I don't know that it's as effective on those surfaces. Had a conversation with Andy Walls from North Strabane. He's their township manager. They're not changing anything, at least, and that's all I can rely on, what.
Yeah, most people cover their
Right, and
tables anyhow.
They're not doing anything different with how they clean their pavilions. They're treating those in the same manner. They are just amping up maybe their sanitation procedures in our bathroom, which something I would recommend, I think, that we do. I don't think we need to do anything different with the pavilions. They're cleaned every morning before someone rents them, for that day. I think we have a good plan, and we can roll with it. I would ask, though, if we are going to open the parks, that I be allowed to bring back Tatiana Rosini as our part-time summer work help. She
Yes.
worked for us last year. We had her application in when we advertised, and it'd be good to bring her back to assist.
I'll make a motion on that to bring her back.
Oh, that's fine, I'll second it. I don't think we need a formal vote, do we? All those in favor of?
I don't know, are we allowed to, being this isn't on the agenda?
Yeah.
Or do
Yeah,
we,
it's just a discussion. This is just a discussion.
or do we make a motion tonight to open the parks? That's my thing. If we're gonna hire somebody, and we're not gonna move on the motion of opening these parks,
I don't think there's no vote required to open the parks. There was no vote required to close them. Just as a courtesy,
well, I mean, I wouldn't want this to linger on the whole month of June.
No,
And
we're
the children
opening the parks.
not be allowed to go to the playgrounds. We gotta wait till a July meeting. That's my concerns.
no, they're open. Like, they'll be open June 5th when we.
Everything's gonna be open.
A majority of the board said that.
Just
they'll
so
be
it's
open.
clarified for the public.
No,
They'll be open June 5th.
They're gonna be opened after Bill sanitizes them all with that spray.
How about-
And he's gonna post signs on the bathrooms that you're responsible for keeping the proper distance and washing your own hands. And then the liability's gonna fall on the parents.
Can we allow this to coincide with the state's, when we turn green is June 5th? And
Yes.
so that's.
We can't do it before
Right, we'll
then.
have everything prepared so that June 5th, we're ready to roll into the green phase. Our parks will be open.
Is,
You don't,
is that be open and take effect on Friday
yes.
when the state goes green?
Yes, that
This
is correct.
portion of the state?
Yes.
No, we gotta go up to Hill Stations, sanitize all them.
Well, we'll use the same practices at all
And
of the
Klinger.
parks,
Klinger doesn't have any playground equipment, but we still have to.
but
like,
also
open-
Hendersonville as well, Henderson and Lawrence Parks as well.
And Southview has some
That's right.
swings up there.
Yes, the same procedures will have to be used for all of those parks.
Okay. So the parks will be open. That doesn't need a formal vote. I don't think we need a vote to hire Tatiana because it's an expenditure of money. So So there was a motion and a second to rehire Tatiana Rizzini. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Eric?
No vote, it's a discussion. Just Dawn's looking for the pulse of the board.
What?
What did he say, Joe?
It's a discussion.
I stated there should be no vote. Dawn is looking for the pulse of the board.
No, he wants to actually take the action of hiring Tatiana, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so that requires a vote, not the,
Dawn has the authority to do that.
Well, we just gave him this order, so what's the argument?
Eric, are you in favor of hiring her or not?
Sorry, your microphone sounds very muffled.
Are you in favor of hiring her or not?
Are you
For him to hire someone?
What? Eric,
For him to hire someone?
Eric, are you in favor of bringing back Tatiana Rizzini as parks? Extra summer help for the parks, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Oh, wait, the boot camp thing.
I think I know where I need
Oh,
to
we're
go with
good,
that.
okay.
Right. Good.
All right, we're
Given
good. So, any other comments or questions?
Cindy, hold on. I just want to remind the people that voted at St. Mary's Church will not be voting there. They got to go to Cecil number 3 Fire Hall, just for this election.
Right.
They